Hi, my name is Jenny.
Hi, my name is Darius.
And we are the Bloomin' Onion.
This is a show where we like to peel back the layers of being politically correct so we can have open and honest, raw conversation amongst friends so we can grow and hopefully you can learn from them as well. All right.
So welcome.
Yeah.
So today I'm very excited because I get to ask him a lot of questions about something in his past that I find fascinating. Since I've known you, I've tried to peel back the layers, so to speak. And he sort of has given me nuggets here and there, and they always go in this treasure box, and they're like, oh, that's a good one. That's another one. So I've slowly pieced together an image of this.
Yes.
But I'm just excited because I think we can get a little bit more out of him.
Okay, so backstory.
Wait, let me tell him what it is.
Okay,
this
sure,
is me.
Sure.
I'm the presenter.
Yes, this is true. She gets the lead.
Okay, this is so. For those that may not know, Mr. Darius Poole was actually on the Xfactor a few years back, and he and his group did really well. You guys went to, I think you told me you went to Paula's house. Oh my God, Paula Abdul. Okay, please tell us a little bit about that journey. How'd you get there?
Okay, so this story is lengthy, but I'm excited and feel free to stop for questions. So, I would say little Black history fact when it's something new about me.
Okay.
Is that the group that I was singing with.
Does that mean I get to say little brown history fact?
Little
brown.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so fun fact is the group that I sang with on the show, we actually had broken up before the show. Well, actually we'd broken up like a year prior. So Jenny met me after, like at that time I was doing a lot of music stuff heavy. She met me a whole life transition after. Yeah. So I did a contest at that time, and I did a contest through one of the partnering Fox News, Fox affiliates, yeah. Okay. And I actually tied, so it was me and this other girl, we tied. Oh. And so they sent both of us to fly to Dallas to audition. Actually, let me back this up.
Dallas to audition for X Factor.
Correct. Let me back this up. So I always say God is very intentional and you got to be careful how to speak the things you want into fruition. So a year before, I remember my best friend and I, Alan, hi Alan, we used to watch the X Factor online and stuff. And we heard they were doing the show in America. And I remember I was like, yo, if we can just get in front of the judges, because for people who don't know, there are pre-production rounds. This is not telling anything because people know. It's on all the shows. There are pre-production rounds for producers, associate producers, everybody before you actually get to the judges.
You have to impress a shit ton of people
you
before
really
you even get in the room.
You really do. So, and I kept saying, I was like, if we could just get in front of the judges, I think we would get a yes and we would get to go through. So back to what I was saying. So I did the audition. Me and the girl, love her by the way, she's awesome. Shout out to you. And we flew to Dallas and we did the audition. Okay, so first of all, that was like the first time I'd flown. Second time I'd ever flown.
Who was the audition for? Or like who did you audition
for? Oh, so we were auditioning for, honestly, this is what it was. You really, winning the competition got you guaranteed, like,
working with
guaranteed time, guaranteed to audition. Because just because you show up to the cattle calls doesn't mean you actually get to audition. Because if they run out of space or it's really long, so we got like priority auditioning status of sorts.
Oh, okay.
And so I remember doing it. It's really weird because you go in there, you don't know what's gonna happen. To be honest, I kind of felt like when I walked in, I wasn't gonna get it because the person wasn't even paying attention to me. So it's kind of like once you if you heard a yes right before you're probably not about to get a yes. It's almost like a system, it feels like. Gotcha. But why I say this was important was because when I left, while I was there, and other people who had won, they were on the bus or things with us, and like we made connections with people.
Oh, hold on, because I want to say you might be a little lost as I am. So, just back up. You entered a Fox affiliate singing competition.
Correct.
You tied for first place.
Yes.
So you and the other person were flown to Dallas to audition for X Factor?
To audition for the X Factor producers.
Okay, so the preliminary,
the cattle call, when they'd be like, everyone,
the
come to
huge,
so and so. We got that.
And your prize from the Fox affiliate was premier
Priority
sort of,
status, yes.
So then you were auditioning in front of the Xfactor producers, like the first round.
Well, the associate, it's like these aren't the.
No, you have to go through rounds, don't you? You have
it's
to go
rounds,
through,
correct.
the.
That's how it works. Yes,
Gotcha.
That's correct.
Okay, so this is where we're at.
Yes.
We're auditioning in front of the first round.
Didn't get it. But I wasn't surprised by it. Like, it sucked. But I wasn't surprised by it because it just felt the energy
this was just you solo.
Yeah, this was me by myself. Yes, this is important to the story. So, but in the process, it was great because I got to meet tons of cool people, including some people who
Which again, networking.
Yeah, this goes back to we talked about networking in the prior video.
Is such a huge part of the entertainment world as a whole. Your connections and how you build those relationships can affect so much of your work, good and bad.
Absolutely. This is a testament to that story. So the reason it transitions perfectly. So I get back, did make it, but then I get a text from one of the people that I met while I was there, and they said, "Hey, they're doing video."
We exchanged numbers.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we're doing video auditions. You should submit." And I was like, But I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So what I actually did was I submitted one of myself.
Okay.
But then I was the person who kept all the video footage for the group.
You submitted for the group even though y'all's broke up a year ago?
Yes. And it's funny. But what's funny is that the video had all these requirements you needed to have. I had none of them because it was just like intros. Who are you? I literally clipped. I think it was us
just
singing. Were we singing Daddy's Home by Usher? I don't know. It was something. No, it was And If I Ever Fall in Love. Because we had done a performance here for like one of the huge festivals. Yeah. We clipped that and I sent it. I checked every day, like, I need it. We're going to get it. Didn't hear anything. So fast forwarding, which is really funny to me because where I was. So I was actually in a summer scholars research program at that time. Okay. And so we went on a trip to Atlanta. And I'll never forget it because we were in Maggiano's and Perimeter Mall.
Oh, we love Maggiano's.
It's crazy because anyone who knows me, I eventually moved to Atlanta, and actually one of the places I was working was in that same mall. It all works together. But what happened was I checked every day. The day I stopped checking was the day they emailed me, but I had stopped checking. Why does the universe
do these things? Yeah, because same. I know.
I stopped checking, so this was literally. But at this point, it was Saturday, and I think they emailed me Wednesday, because I think Wednesday was like the day we left or something like that. So I was like, we're not gonna get it. Right. So I get a Facebook message like, "Hey, this is so and so. I'm a producer from the show. We really would love for you guys to audition for it. The audition is Tuesday in Seattle, Washington. We would love for you to come." So I had to clarify. I was like, first of all, I was like, wait, is this even legit? Okay, right. So then I'm like, is this for the judges or is this for just more producers?
Because if it's just another first round stuff, that's a lot of money to be spent to go all the way to Seattle just for that. Exactly. That's not important, but
yes. And she was like, no, this is for the judges, yada, yada. And I was like, Paula, Simon, Ellie, and Nicole.
Oh, it was Nicole Scherzinger? Yeah. We love her.
Schwarzenegger Ginger Ale. I love her. She's amazing. And they were like, yes. So I was like, okay. So yes.
Okay. So talk to me about those calls that you had to make to these guys who you had broken up with from the group. So how did that go?
So the first person I called was my best friend, Alan, because Alan and I still
Did he even know that you actually...
No one knew. So imagine the onslaught of...
How the heck do you do this without my permission?
Nobody was like that. It was more so of... Wait, what? Because it was kind of like... Wait, you auditioned this for this thing? Wait, they want us to do what? It's in where? So it was like all of the... Because mind you, we had like 3 or 4 days to do all this.
Oh my God, that's
true.
So
it was like... after everybody... So I told Alan. Alan was like, this is crazy. But then it turned into, okay, we had to divvy up the task. I said, I will call this person. You call the other person.
Because were you guys not all on speaking terms?
We were all, one, we hadn't spoken in a while. And then 2, for efficiency purpose. Like we actually needed to
figure out a plan
exactly.
ASAP.
So we did that. Then it turned into, we're all like broke. school
Yo,
students.
how do you get up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
All East Coast trying to go to the tippy top of
Yes.
Northwest.
This is again, because mind you, I had just, the Dallas trip was my second time ever flying. My first time flying was Florida.
Oh my Lord.
But this was really interesting. So we ended up doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We got all the money thanks to our parents. Thanks, Auntie. I love you.
Decided to do
Everyone
it.
decided to do it. So
Okay.
what if the audition is Tuesday, we're going to get there what day?
At least Monday.
That is exactly what we did. But if you have an
But at
audition the next
least
day,
Monday, you said?
what time
Okay.
what time do you get there on Monday?
Oh my God, what time did you guys
No, what
leave?
time would
Y'all-
you recommend to get there on Monday?
Very early in the morning Monday.
That's what most people would recommend. No
But
shade,
you guys
but
got
love you, Brandon.
there. Oh!
But
Not calling
everyone
him
got
by his
there.
name.
Everyone got there except for Brandon early. Brandon got there in the evening time. So let's really
Brandon.
have a conversation.
Why would you
about
get there
Xfactor.
in the evening,
Yeah.
sir?
So what people
Okay.
really a fun fact if people don't know. So it was fun to just be. It's our first time in Seattle. We went to Jack in the Box.
Was that your
good.
first time? We
Actually,
love
I think
Jack
it
in the
was
Box.
my first time
Oh,
Jack
we
in the
love
Box,
Jack in the
yeah.
Box.
It
I
was
mean, In-N-Out
good.
has sort of like taken the crown of West Coast.
They have funnel cake
But-
fries. Like those were
but-
so good.
Jack in the Box was my hot late night drunken drive-through. Not that I drove, but drunken drive-through through the drive-through because my sister used to work there. She used to hook us up,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'd pay for
Don't be
$1
giving
for
sister
two.
cut for they come in and
She
say
was-
for your
Oh,
bells.
this is already done. She so she would charge us like $1 for 2 tacos and then give us like 20.
Allegedly.
And we're allegedly, yeah, I don't remember. I was drunk. But that was my spot. Okay, but
Yes.
continue.
So, interesting thing about that group is that we could have not been speaking. We could be speaking. Like we're really close friends to this day, and we're brothers. Like that's not changed. But at times, just like brothers do,
You
we fight, we
yeah.
disagree. But what doesn't change is the fact that when you put us on that, when you tell
You're
us to
still gonna
sing,
sing.
it
You're
works.
still gonna do your work, yeah.
So we had 5 songs to learn
To learn.
in a couple hours. So Brandon getting there late added to that. And the reason I'll talk about why that
He keeps
adds to
bringing
that.
up poor Brandon's
It's
sitting at
because-
home like, yeah, I heard you the first time.
Because
I
we
got
didn't get to
there.
audition. We actually ended up not practicing all the songs, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the audition, which is why a whole funny fool.
Damn, Brandon.
But yeah,
Did you have to learn songs that they told you to learn, or were these songs that you guys wanted to present?
I think we picked our own song. I think they just had to already be approved, but I think for the audition we actually picked our own songs.
Then why didn't y'all stick to a couple songs you already
Well, some
knew?
of the songs we did. We
Oh,
did
okay.
pick some
Good,
that we
good,
knew,
good,
which is
okay.
also problematic, and we'll talk about it. Then it turned into getting there. To be completely honest with you all, a lot of my X Factor experience I don't actually remember because it was a whirlwind in life. And so I remember we had to get up butt crack early. I think we had talked to the hotel because mind you, this is like we're little kids. We don't know what we're doing. Like, hey, how do you get around to these places?
Oh my
So we had to
God.
go to the
and
Seattle.
this was pre-Uber, Lyft, any of
No,
this stuff.
well, yeah, it wasn't commonplace to be doing
Right,
this. Like
right.
we had them, but we were just like, we don't even know what we're doing. So we caught a ride over there, and then I remember like the spinning restaurant thing. Like it was right next. I think it's the Key Arena. I hope I'm not
Sure.
messing this up. It was right there, so it was cool to see all these things.
Okay.
I remember getting there because it's a lot of hurry up and wait, which is fine.
Which
part
is
of the process.
like most.
Yeah, but we didn't know that. But it was kind. We were cool on that part. Gave us more time to rehearse.
Okay.
But I just remember certain people that ended up being big on the show, like Chris Renee. People, if you remember him, he was amazing. Hey, young homie, what you sipping on? He
Okay.
was one of the first people we met there, and he was sweet. He's literally the way he was on the show is exactly how he is in person. He's amazing. And it was just other people that were like, yo, these people are dope. So fast forwarding to the time that we go, because actually we got there if we got there at 9, we probably auditioned at 6.
Okay.
I'll never forget because right before we walk on stage, they said, ooh, good luck. Everybody's been getting to know today. And we were just like,
Thank you for that pep talk. That was the
Literally.
best pep talk ever.
so little fun fact, if you watch the video, when I run out,
I
Simon,
link it in the comments.
God,
for you.
please don't. I'll tell you why I hate that video. But when Simon's looking at us like, what are y'all doing? So when I ran out, we were like, okay, we got to be hype,
Yeah.
I got hype and my mic pack fell off on the stage. So like production crew is running outside to like, they're running on the stage to like fix it. And they're
Yeah.
just looking at us like, these people are whole fools. And to be honest with you, I'm going to break down things that people don't know for the first time, maybe.
Give us that insight.
But I'm also going to preface it by saying,
Allegedly.
yo, no, well,
You don't.
I don't
It's
remember
sort of
anything.
like a blackout.
Yeah, but what I do remember, people don't know, they showed us singing End of the Road. The fact that L.A. Reid wrote the song, we actually knew that, but it didn't. Yes, because End of the Road was one of the songs that we already kind of knew, and it goes back to the rehearsal. The one song we didn't practice was End of the Road, and we didn't practice.
One song that is a direct correlation to one of the.
None of that was making connections, and what sucks is the fact that that happened, and we didn't rehearse it. So, and we were upset because we were like, oh, they'll never ask for that song. Because they kind of made it seem like, we don't want the typical, that kept being the same thing. So we're like, well, that's super typical. They're never going to ask for that song.
They asked for it.
And that's the song they asked for. But what people don't know is we actually sang a piano version of Katy Perry's Fireworks. That was the song we sang. And that actually went over really well because Alan actually ended up belting the high part instead of falsing it, and it was amazing. So what people don't realize is that, like, when you haven't been practicing or singing consistently, it's a muscle. So us flexing that muscle, especially him having to belt
on that
back to back to back. So what they don't realize is when they said, okay, now we like to hear End of the Road, one, we were like, oh no, we didn't practice this. What are the harmonies? And then two, Alan has to belt, but his voice was like shot.
Right, because he already used up all the good
because he just hadn't been keeping that up.
Firework.
Exactly.
It's like back to back to back to back.
Yes.
Okay,
so I feel for you, Al. So this is why we hate watching that clip.
So at home, we only got to see you guys doing
End of the Road. But then you heard us sing End of the Road for the first time in a year. So literally, it looks like, if I could ever change anything, it would have been that one. We just went there to sing that, probably. But also, we would have rehearsed it.
But is it as bad as you're making it out to be? Because you guys made it through.
People like it.
So, okay, because you guys didn't make it through. So it could not have been that bad.
I said we probably made it because of the fireworks. But people like the performance. But for us,
it wasn't.
We know. And our family was like, y'all don't be singing that song like that. Y'all sound way better singing that. But so what's funny though is I remember saying when they asked us, can we sing? And I said, yes, but please let us make it to the end. Because I know that's when we do the belting and all of that, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, okay.
And they said, fine. They let us do that. And what's funny is that they all said, the group members said that, they were like, Darius, you gave this incredible speech during the I get so lonely, the breakdown part. I talked right before that, like during the talking part of the song. They were like, Darius, you gave the best speech ever, man. I don't remember that speech at all. I'm waiting for the day for the footage to come out. I have no recollection, but I just remember telling everybody, because they were like, Darius, you were so church. I was like, everybody get up, put your hands together. And I remember it was like 13, because that's what I do remember. Yes, all those 13 years, because people don't know we grew, how we formed as a group, we were performing for tourists. So we were used to working a crowd.
Trying to get a crowd.
So we treated that audition like a performance and just make the audience be in it. So everybody stood up. It's like 13,000 people. That's how we treated it instead of, because otherwise we'd have been nervous. But fast forwarding, because this is getting lengthy. So we ended up getting the yesage. It was amazing. What is hilarious to me.
What did LA say or do though?
He said Babyface will be proud. He was proud. Boys Man. And that was like...
I mean, come on.
I don't...
you don't know that you believe it though?
No, because that type of stuff is so whoo. Yeah. You can't even... And that's why it's funny is so when we walked off stage, we didn't realize they're still filming. So they made us re-walk off because we looked like we weren't excited. So yeah, but I was like, what people don't realize is that we had been on
such a high.
It had been 48 hours at that point. And so it was just
especially, I can only imagine, well, for all of y'all, but especially the other guys, because they had no clue that they were even considered for this.
Yeah.
And then to get the news, be told they had to come up with this money, get ready, be there, practice, rehearse.
And we're on East Coast time.
Jet lag, all this whole 5 days must have just been, you guys were just.
They were.
And
we slept for 3 hours, I think, that night. So it wasn't like there was just, it was exciting. What are we going to wear? What are we going to do?
But it's
a lot. It was a lot.
And so it makes, I feel like in that headspace, it makes it difficult to have connected the dots of this is an LA song.
Yeah.
This is this. We probably maybe want to prepare for.
Exactly, because we kept trying to pick songs that people wouldn't think we would sing. That's why we did Katy Perry and Fireworks. I kind of wish that's what they showed, but it's okay. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming because sometimes you think it sounded one way and then it didn't. So you never know. But then it turned into, okay, we got the S's. I just remember we had to fill out all the paperwork. What's fun fact, we were the last people to leave. And like at 2 a.m, because I was the last person to fill out because I take forever to fill out stuff. And like, there's no transportation home. So like, they were just kind of like, all right, y'all have a great day. And so we had to figure out like, how do we get home? Get back to the hotel. So then thankfully somebody did help us and we got back. And 3 hours later.
So this is all, oh my God, that's true. So you don't find out immediately, like you don't stay in the hotel and find out that you made it to the next round.
You know on the stage if you made it
to the next round.
Like they say yes or no, and then it's like go back and then they'll contact you more about the next round later.
The next but then you still have to go back. Oh my God, that's
and you can't tell anybody.
Oh, the NDA.
I was like, I don't know how girls hide pregnancies because it's like you know something and you can't tell anybody. It didn't even dawn on me until I got home. Like all of that was a whirlwind and a dream. And then when I got back to Virginia, I was like,
that actually happened.
Yo, like we got a yes.
And we actually have to show up for the next round. And so how did the preparation, how much time did you have between that? Between you guys getting back to your home base and then the next place?
I want to say it was like a month because I think it was the last.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, but then the thing, we don't all live in the same place. So there was no preparation. So, there was nothing to prep in between. It was simply...
Y'all didn't keep up working on your harmonies or something.
But that wasn't a thing that like Zoom wasn't popping like that back then. So like it was simply, I'll see y'all.
Oh my Lord.
When they call us.
So we hope you're working on your voice back home, but we have no way to actually practice together. Oh my Lord.
So the next round is boot camp.
Okay.
Boot camp was literally one of the most stressful times of my life.
That's always sounds fun to me. And I say that as someone who has gone through military boot camp. I actually liked being, but I do well with those. I do well with like a high pressure intensity because to me, even though it's like a high pressure thing, it's so simple. You follow this, you follow that, you follow it. Like your outside world issues don't matter in this space. And so for me, I kind of like that kind of stuff.
I hated it. Boot camp was literally hurry up and wait. And you can get fired at you can get kicked off at any point.
Ooh.
That's all it was. It was like, you just knew you can get kicked off at any point.
Our boot camp was you can't even be comfortable, like trying to learn. Like you don't even have the foundation of like, okay, like it isn't until I get in front of the judges that I could be up for elimination. It's like at any more. So what kind of stuff would people get?
I mean, typically it was a performance that would get you cut.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody got cut prior to that. I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't know. But
and did everybody have a say in you getting cut? Like every writer,
to be honest, I don't know who made the decisions, and this is why I say it was stressful. They started cutting people that we knew were brilliant. So you were like, if they got cut,
like what
everybody.
Here, right?
No, seriously. You were like, if they got cut, everybody's fair game.
Damn.
And so it was like, oh my God, I never know when you don't get any sleep and you knew they were going to do the thing, wake and knock you up. Everybody get up. And so like, I remember you get a song.
Flashbacks.
You would get a song. It's like, okay, y'all are performing tomorrow. I'll come up with something.
Yeah.
And so I guess this is.
And how long is that?
Boot camp is a whole week.
Okay. So a month goes by, then you get the call. Where's boot camp at?
Boot camp is in Cali, so that was fun. I think Pasadena.
I miss you so much, California.
That was my first time in Cali. It was amazing. I loved it.
And so a week of this, up and down, like rush. It's like a rush.
Yeah, it is. It's still fun. Like you still love it because you have the dancing, you do the singing, coaching,
and meeting on these people that you know their hits. Especially, it's kind of like how. I would do research on actors and producers and directors and writers.
I was that person because I knew all the people. I was like, that's so-and-so.
You're like, ah.
Yeah, some of the most amazing choreographers and like Trisha Miranda was one of the choreographers. One of Lady Gaga's dancers. My mind is literally blanking. I'm so sorry. I think his name is Matt.
You just said, before I interrupted, you were talking about giving us some more insights.
Oh, yeah. So the main thing that I remember from boot camp is this. So they only show 2 performances, and both of them
from the whole week.
2 of ours, I should say.
Okay.
Which is kind of trash.
And how many performances did you shoot?
To be honest, I don't really remember.
Okay.
Oh, I think we did 3.
Okay.
I actually forgot about the end if I ever won. Because like one, it was like you were on stage with a bunch of people. You got like a minute to do a piece, so we did an acapella thing. So we sang "I Have Nothing" by Whitney Houston. It wasn't just us; it was in a group of people. What sucked is, again, like I said, when you're not keeping. Alan was like, again, when you're singing up there and you just haven't strengthened that muscle to sustain all the time, they showed the one part, like he belted, killed it. Don't walk, I have nothing. And then like when he came back up, if I don't, the voice that kind of broke a little
And
bit.
that's the
part they showed. We were like, because Alan handled. We were like trash. So,
but I wonder how much of that is for TV's sake, sensationalism, because the gag is you still made it.
Don't sue me. By the time they air everything, we already knew we got kicked off. So it had to make sense in the narrative.
That they, But who are they even fooling though by showing the trash thing? And then you're at home watching this and you're like, why are they still there? You don't get to see that the judges actually picked them because of their talent.
That's kind of like the biggest thing. Because so case in point, we sang the song "Fix You" by Coldplay. Okay. That's the thing where they really showed us sounding a whole fool. But what happened in real life, we were, oh my God, I will never forget this. So I'm going to try to, I almost feel like we got to do a part 2, but I'm going to give it to y'all.
We can do a part 2.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to y'all.
Sounds pretty good so
Might break this up. But so,
give us a little more.
I just remember we were the first ones, I think, in the rehearsal room that day, or second. So we had to meet with the band, we had to meet with the choreographer, and we had to meet with the vocal coach. Yes, all of this, like you were going to learn a song to perform it that day. Okay. So we had "Fix You" by Coldplay. We had this idea. We're like, ooh, we'll try to be, because we were always like, well, we got to be different because that's something they push. We're like, we're going to add this
what sets you guys apart?
Yeah, we're going to add this like kind of dance beat behind it and like start with an acoustic and then transition into that. Bad idea, but we'll get to that. So we kept, they were like, hey, we're having issues making the track that you want, but it'll be right for you and a little bit to rehearse with. Okay. We keep going. We go to a dance and we're like, well, yeah, they haven't given us the track yet, but they said we'll get there. Love fast forwarding. They handed us the track and they said, okay, cool. We said, all right, we're about to go rehearse. They said, no, you're not, because you're first. We were like, but we haven't practiced with the track. So we get on that stage. Oh, we were, and I like thinking back, it's almost embarrassing because this is the first time they had a live audience. And we were the first people to perform out of all the people in boot camp. How many people? Oh, the theater probably held a couple hundred people. Like, and it was like maybe like 50, 70 groups to go. So like we were the first thing that people heard. And I actually did find a review of somebody that like commented on us and I was like, dang, they ate us alive. But I couldn't but I think they've corrected it. So this is the interesting twist that people don't know. So when y'all don't be mad at me, group members. So one of the members, I won't blame who it was, when the track was playing. No, it wasn't Brandon. I actually think it was that one. But like when the track started, they had a click sound in it that was wrong, and it threw that person off. I think it was Alan. Sorry, Alan. And so Alan just didn't come in on his part right. And then, so every person so excited. So when you try your best, but you don't succeed. When you get what you want. Every person, each one of us had a line. Right. So nobody said their line until I got to the last part, stuck in reverse, whatever it is. Yeah. So mind you, nobody said anything. Or it was like they were messing up all the words. So then it gets to me, and then it turns into the dance part kicks in, and it sounds like trash. And you guys have never heard it. And so I promise you, to walk through that performance, and like it's just horrible. And you're on stage trying to fake like it's not bad. And like Simon Cowell's face is just like, and his face is bloody awful. I think that's what he says in awful. He's like bloody awful. But what people don't know, we got off the stage. We did not talk to each other for 30 minutes. This was the first Xfactor. Yes, USA. First season, Xfactor USA. Okay. So literally, we didn't talk to. We got off stage. We did not talk. I do kind of want to stop here because I do think that we need a part 2 because this is getting good to the juicy stuff, and I'm so excited. So come on back next time. We'll hear the rest of the story. Bye.